Hi guys, today we're going to make a family-sized chicken and vegetable pot pie. So for this recipe you will need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You'll also need 500 grams of diced chicken, that's equivalent to around just over a pound. You'll also need a diced onion, 1 diced zucchini. You'll also need around 200 grams of green beans that have been sliced. A large carrot which has been diced, 1 cup of chicken stock, 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, 2 teaspoons of mustard powder, or you can use Dijon mustard, a couple of teaspoons of that is just as good. We'll also need 1/4 cup of plain flour, 1 egg which has been lightly beaten, 1/3 cup of light cream, and we'll also need a couple of sheets of frozen puff pastry. So I'm adding a couple of tablespoons there. Then we're going to add our onion. And we're just going to saute the onion for a couple of minutes until the onion has become translucent. So the onion's been sauteing for a couple of minutes and I'm just going to add in all of my chicken. And I just want to lightly fry the chicken until the outside is just cooked a little bit. And I'm just going to start adding in all of my vegetables. So I've just added the carrot, the beans, and the zucchini. And I'm just going to fry that off for just a few minutes. I want the vegetables to remain crisp because obviously they'll be cooking in the pie in the oven for quite a while later on. And next I'm going to add in the mustard powder and also the garlic. And just fry that for another couple of minutes. Okay, and next I'm just going to add in the flour. And just make sure that you're frying off the flour really well. You don't want that floury taste to remain in your pie. So it is really, really important that you do spend a few minutes here. And it could be sort of 3 to 5 minutes, just really frying it off. Just make sure it doesn't burn, so keep stirring it. And you should be fine. Now that the flour's been frying for a few minutes, you need to start adding your liquids. So first of all, we'll add in the chicken stock. And really between the chicken stock and that flour, that's what's really going to give you that lovely and thick sauce in your pie. You want it to be runny, but you don't want it to be too runny. So you need to really watch the liquid. Now, I've added in 1 cup of chicken stock, but I do feel that we should add in a little bit of water. So I'm just going to grab my kettle and just add in a little bit more hot water. So here's some hot water that's just been recently boiled, and I'm just going to add in about 1/4 cup there. And just while that's coming up to a light simmer, I'll start adding in my salt and pepper as well. And just remember that you do have that chicken stock that already has a fair bit of salt. So, you know, do it to taste, but don't add too much salt. So that mixture's now coming back to a light simmer. I'm just going to start adding in our cream. And give that a really good stir. So you just want to give that a bit of a simmer for just a few minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so the next step is to transfer your chicken mixture that we've just made into an oven-proof baking dish. And just, remembering that this is a family-sized dish, so using a nice big dish. Alternatively, you can use individual sized ramekins if you wanted to make individual pot pies, and that's easily done, and I've done that before, and that's quite good if you're having guests or things like that. That can be quite nice, but this is a good way to do it, and probably a lot quicker as well. Okay, so that's been done. Now you can see that over here I've got 2 sheets of my puff pastry just defrosting, and I've got my lightly beaten egg over here as well. So I'm just going to cut the pastry sheets to size and literally just cover this dish, and then this dish will go into the oven for approximately 45 to 50 minutes until the pastry is nice and golden. You're going to need to preheat your oven to around 200 degrees Celsius. That's what we need. Okay, the next step here is I'm just brushing the pastry with some beaten egg. And this is really what will make your pastry really lovely and golden. Pie will go into the oven now for about 45 minutes. I'll check it at that stage and see if it needs any more. Just remember, you do want it to be really nice, puffed up, golden brown, and if it needs a little bit longer, do put it back in there for a few more minutes, but do check it at around the 40-45 minute mark and just see how it's travelling. Okay, so here's the finished product. Here is the chicken and vegetable family-sized pot pie, and all the pastry, as you can see, is beautifully golden brown and risen, and yeah, it's ready for us to tuck into. So I'll take a slice and just show you what it looks like. And here's a slice of this delicious pie. So I hope you enjoyed seeing me make this recipe today, and I do hope that you'll try it and enjoy it.